The screaming woman mummy suffered a painful death in ancient Egypt. Virtual autopsy finds the mummy was well preserved with an expensive embalmment material. Her organs were still intact, showing an unusual mummification technique, a CT scan revealed. This is a 3,500-year-old mummy dubbed the Screaming Woman, found in an Egyptian tomb. Virtual autopsy of the mummy showed her organs were all still intact and well preserved. An ancient Egyptian woman died in so much pain, her muscles instantly locked up, freezing her final scream in place for 3,500 years. An analysis of the mummy dubbed the Screaming Woman reveals. The researchers also found that the woman had been embalmed in expensive imported substances and had all of her organs inside her body, suggesting a unique way of preservation. The researchers revealed their findings in a new study published Friday, August 2nd, in the journal Frontiers in Medicine. Mummification in ancient Egypt is still full of secrets, study co-author Sahar Saleem, a mummy radiologist at Sahar Al-Ain Hospital of Cairo University, said. Intact organs are usually a sign of poor or neglected mummification, but the Screaming Woman was remarkably well preserved. And this was a surprise to me, as a classic method of mummification in the New Kingdom, that's around 1550 to 1070 BC, included the removal of all organs except the heart, Saleem said. Archaeologists unearthed the Screaming Woman mummy, named after her gaping mouth, in Deir el-Bahari near Luxor, Egypt in 1935, while excavating the tomb of Senenmut, a prominent architect and government official who was rumored to be the secret lover of Queen Hatshepsut. The Screaming Woman was interred in a nearby burial chamber and is likely a close family member of the Senenmut, Saleem noted. The mummy was adorned with black wig and 2 scarab rings. Her natural hair had been dyed with henna and juniper. Electron microscopy reveals that the wig was made from date palm. An X-ray diffraction test showed it contained a mix of quartz, magnetite, and albite crystals, likely to stiffen the locks and give her hair a black color. Saleem said wigs were commonly used for funerary purposes and in day-to-day life. The secret to her preservation likely lies in her lavish embalmment. Saleem and study co-worker Samia El Mergani of Egyptian Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities found, and using infrared spectroscopy, they discovered traces of juniper resin and frankincense, which are luxurious products likely imported into Egypt from the Eastern Mediterranean, East Africa, and Southern Arabia. The resin and frankincense prevented the body from decay caused by bacteria and insects. This is not the only mummy discovered with a screaming expression. Prince Pentawere of 1173 to 1155 BC and Princess Mary Tadmun 1525 to 1504 BC were also unearthed with open mouths, Saleem noted. Opening of the mouth occurs when the muscles relax during sleeping or when they decompose after death, Saleem said. In order to keep the descendant's mouth closed, embalmers frequently wrapped the mandible around the skull. But in this case, it was different. The gaping mouth was due to a painful death. The mummy's screaming facial expression in this study could be read as a cadaveric spasm, implying that the woman died screaming from agony, Saleem said. Cadaveric spasm occurs when the muscles are contracted just moments before death, causing them to stiffen. This condition can occur in instances such as deaths by assault, suicide, or drowning. Unlike the cause of death of the 2 other mummies, Pentawar died of suicide and Mary Tanum of heart attack. A computed tomography TC scan of the Screaming Woman did not reveal her cause of death, though. However, the 2D and 3D images from the CT scan did shed light on the woman's height, age, and medical conditions, showing that she had stood about 5 foot tall. The joint between her 2 pelvic bones, which changes as humans change, indicates she was approximately 48 years old when she died. The bones on her spine also suggest that she may have had mild arthritis. The woman was missing several teeth, which were likely lost right before death, indicating by unhealed teeth sockets. Saleem and her team hope that advances in scientific techniques will enable them to unveil more information about the mummy. Her well-preserved body was like a time capsule that enabled us to know how she lived, the diseases she suffered from, and capture her death that could be in pain. Saleem said, this type of study humanizes a mummy and lets us look at her as a human being. The screaming woman is kept in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, while her coffin and rings are on display in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. This is by Crystal Jandra on Live Science. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. My Patreon account, the daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.